Hello, everyone, and welcome to our monthly show, Angelic Guidance for Daily Living. My name is Pat Rainville. I'm a life coach, an angel therapy practitioner, a spiritual intuitive, and I have here with me my co-host, Carolyn McGee, who many of you know. Carolyn's a pet communicator, also an angelic life coach?
Angelic life coach,
yeah.
Yes.
So, and we've started our show here to help to teach and educate people more about the angelic realm and how you can work with them on a day-to-day basis for the things that are going on in your personal world and the world at large. So we're here in the middle of December, and I wanted to start out our show today by really using one of the ways that I work with angels, and I'm sure you do too, Carolyn, is when there are tragedies that go on in the world. And right now we'd like to just take a moment, even a moment of silence, if you will, and call on extra angels. And if you want to join us while you're watching this too, please come along with us. Call on you can call on legions of angels. And so we call upon the angels right now and send them out to the people in California who have been just under such distress, dealing with the forest fires that spread so rapidly there, and so many people have been evacuated from their homes. Angels, we ask for your intervention. Please help them. Please help for these fires to be subdued. Please help create the shifts in the weather that may be needed to calm the fires and help people get to the shelters and the help and material support that they may need. And we can just visualize the whole area being surrounded by extra saints and angels to bring comfort and help and support to all the people there, and even the people in New York City this morning. There was a bombing that went off there today.
And I want to go back for just 1 second and also bring those angels in and surround all the animals.
Oh, yes.
The animals that have been displaced from their homes, not only the wildlife, but also the domestic animals that are living with people who had to abandon their homes or have lost their homes.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of life that needs our support, needs our prayers, and needs us holding a positive space. And, that's one of the things that I find the most comforting about the angels is having them guide me and help me hold that positive space, hold that energy of love and connection rather than fear.
Yes.
It makes such a big difference. And I found that the more I can hold that space, then the people around me kind of rise up and connect in with that positive energy and that energy of hope.
You're right, and I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you so much, because I don't know why I forget about the animals, but I'm glad you.
They're such a part of who I am.
Yes, because you're such a great animal communicator. But you're right. You bring up a really good point, because whenever you do call on the angels, especially at times like now, when we can all everyone who's watching can agree. Yeah. There's so much, so many disturbing things that seem to be going on in the world around us. Mm-hmm. And I know for myself, sometimes it's a struggle to stay away from the media because a part of you wants to stay informed.
Right.
But I've also noticed that it's disrupting my sense of personal peace.
It really can be draining.
It can be.
It can just take the energy right out of you because it's negative. And even when you're trying to connect to it from a place of peace, it just can pull it out of you. And I agree, it's like I want to know what's going on, but then a part of me doesn't want to know what's going on.
Exactly. So like you know, we kind of need to take that just collective deep breath, where you take some quiet time out for yourself and
yes.
And call in the angels, call in the saints, or whatever divinity it is really that
Absolutely.
You feel most aligned with. Mm-hmm. We talk about the angels on the show, but it doesn't exclude. It's not to the exclusion of calling on God or Jesus or this month I brought my Mother Mary cards. A lot of people feel very connected to her energy. In fact, sometimes when I've done this show, I felt her energy come right in as though there was a group of people that really specifically pray and ask for her help, and she comes in with a "I've heard you" kind of message. But it's really important in this time to take that time aside.
Yeah, it is.
And taking time with your pet can help you with that too.
Absolutely. Animals are so incredible for grounding our energy. You know, if you noticed how present, especially cats.
Yes.
You know, they're very good. I've noticed when I'm stressed out over something, even if it's watching the news, if I sit down, my cat Moon will come and sit next to me, and she's got a deep, deep purr, and just that rumbling sound, I can feel me dropping back into my body. And then I can connect with my energy and reconnect again with the angels. And it makes such a big, big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find when my cat is pestering me, it's because she wants me to sit down so she can sit with me. And I mean, I don't have to tell you because you know about animals and their soul contracts and
Yes.
things like that. And that's part of the way that they help us is they get us to take that time aside.
Yes, they do.
And sometimes she'll want to sit right on my heart and be right up there. And other times
Yeah.
she just wants to be planted in my lap. And but it's like a sit down, Mom.
Yep.
Stop running around. Sit down.
I think I said this on one of the other shows, but my other cat, Petey, if I'm kind of out of my body, will come and he'll push something
Oh,
right
that's
toward
right.
the edge to get me to stand up, which breaks that crazy in my mind energy so I can drop back in my body and be present. So yeah, animals are great for pulling us back into our body and back into our hearts, which is really where we want to be.
Exactly. Exactly. But I want to say, too, that, I mean, this is, we have some astrological events that are going on. And right now, we're in a time that's astrologically known as Mercury being in retrograde. And you don't have to necessarily know all the ins and outs or the details of that. But it's one that I always pay attention to because it can be a time where there's, it's a time of reflection. It's a time where it's good to go, within and sit quietly. But it can also create a lot of havoc too. You can get redirected in traffic. You can have to reschedule things. It can create a lot of disruption. And so, and it can bring up a lot of emotions in addition to, what's going on in the world. It's a time around the holidays where a lot of people are grieving the loss of their loved ones.
A lot of people are alone and lonely.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's an even better reason to reach out to your angels because we are really never alone, even though we might feel like it because physically people we love aren't in our vicinity or, like you mentioned, a death of a loved one. But know that you do have that support around you all the time. And when you sit in that peace, that you can feel it.
Absolutely. Or if you have there's a lot of family gatherings that are going on, no matter what holiday you celebrate. And I know I've called on the angels at times where, if you're going to something where, and you're going to be interacting with people where you might feel a little bit awkward, or there's been some drama going on, in the past, and it's like, oh, I have to go and deal or interact with this person, you're not sure. That's an area where I always call on my angels to intervene. I mean, when there's a lot going on in the world, I always call on the Archangel Michael for protection. Yeah. Especially as now is the wintertime when the roads get slippery, and I'm like, okay, Michael, can you please be with me, be with my children, be with, just around and protect them.
The car.
But also in any situation I'm going into where I have to deal with people and it feels awkward, I'll be calling on Raguel or some of my angels to help me through that. Or to find, if someone's lost a loved one, to help me find the right, words to say.
Yeah. And that's really, I think, a gift that the angels can give us to help us know what to say. Because a lot of times, I've had situations where I didn't know what to say to somebody, and it's heartbreaking because you can't, I can't be there physically for them, so I want to say something appropriate. And again, dropping down into my body, taking that breath, allowing myself to feel my heart, and asking the angels for guidance, it allows me to find the perfect thing to say, whether it's, a loved one, a family member, or an animal, because people do connect to them so deeply. Oftentimes I'll be able to get a message to say to them to help their grieving heart. And that's really what it's all about, is we want to be able to give those messages of hope and connection and let them know that they're still loved.
Exactly.
The person may have transitioned. I love that word, transition, but it's a transition into a different type of energy. They're still with us.
Exactly.
It's just a different way.
Exactly. And sometimes they're hanging around a lot during the holidays.
Yes, they are. I can feel my dad right here.
Yeah, that's so very true. So, meditation is a big, I find, helper. It's an important daily practice that we need to take up, whether it's in the morning or the evening or both.
Or both. Yeah.
At times when it's a good health practice, anyways.
Yes, it really makes a big
to quiet
difference.
the body and the mind, but it's also a connection to the spiritual, and it helps you to hear and connect with the angelic realm, with your own guides,
With
or-
God.
Yes, all of the above.
All of the above.
Because in my mind, meditation, in that quieting process, it helps you to be a good receiver. It's like training yourself to be a good receiver. Because when we're constantly doing, it can be really difficult to hear or feel what the best course of action is.
Exactly. I've always said that for me, prayer is asking and meditating is receiving. So, and you have to be able to do both. In order to receive, you need to ask, and you need to be open and in that quiet space so that you can receive. Like you said, whether it's receiving peace or if it's receiving what the next right step is.
Now, let me ask you, out of curiosity, do you use any kind of mantra in your meditation? And just a mantra being like a word or phrase that you repeat to yourself with the rhythm of your breath that helps you to quiet or focus or anything like that?
I do a number of different types of meditation. In the morning, I just do quiet with my breathing. I do a lot of walking meditation. I love to be outside in a safe environment where I can just kind of relax and let go and allow my mind to flow, but I still have some kind of a movement, again, usually correlating with my breath. And then I do tapping meditations. So
those are really good. I do those too, yeah.
physically tap as I say something, and it kind of gets my body, everything into, first of all, being more present, and also like in this zone. From the tapping, it's releasing energy stuck in my body, and it goes through. And with the tapping, I'm usually either tapping on a word or a concept or an energy that, like the Divine Mother, I may go through and try to connect with her to be in that energy and expand my own energy.
Now, tapping, for those of you who may not know, it's a healing modality.
Yes.
And where you tap on various acupuncture points in around your face.
Yeah, it's the meridian points in your body, and what you're actually doing is releasing the stuck energy in your physical body so that whatever it is you're trying to change or release no longer is stored in your body.
Yeah.
And it's a really amazing, powerful tool. It's also called
is.
emotional freedom technique, if you want to get any more information about it, or EFT for short.
If you can find some EFT videos on
there's tons of
YouTube,
them.
and I go to the tappingsolution.com, but it's really amazing for releasing,
It's extremely powerful.
and it can help you get into that quieter, easier space. And it doesn't take, it's free, it doesn't take very long to do at all.
5 minutes of tapping makes a
That's
complete
been my
shift.
if there's one thing I could say that's made a significant difference in my 2017 year, looking back, it's been tapping, because I really got back into it this year. I should say I really got into it. I knew about it before, but I never really pursued it. So it's
very powerful.
I
I do it when I drive.
Healing.
One of the points is right underneath your collarbone, so like if there's traffic or something, I'm tapping my way through.
Yeah, no, that's an excellent one. I too, I do like a quiet morning meditation. You know, I just kind of sit and watch my breath. And I mean, there were some mantras that I had, you know, learned before to tune into spirit. But for the most part, it's just, you know, having that awareness of your breath and, you know, syncing up with that, to just be present for a few minutes.
Yeah.
So, but it really does help to bring out, I want to say, like a calmness and a focus
Yeah.
to your day.
Yeah, and if you've got a favorite poem or song or prayer, like a lot of times at night, if I'm having a hard time settling my mind to be peaceful, I'll do the Lord's Prayer, because I'm also Catholic, and it's something that's very calming to me. And if I do that intentionally with the breath work, it's going into a meditative state, and the next thing I know, I'm asleep, which is wonderful, because not only am I connecting, I'm calming my body so that I can rest.
That's excellent.
Yeah, very powerful.
It is. So, we definitely want to do a meditation for our
Yes.
viewers today. And we'll call in some archangels, saints and angels. And so collectively, we can also maybe just send some healing energy out
Absolutely.
into the world, some calm and peaceful energy for ourselves, but to send it out there so everybody
So everybody has it.
can feel it and be at peace with it. So, what do you think? Should we move into that now? And
Sure.
okay,
All right, and I would like to also invite Archangel Gabriel, the angel of communication, who was very powerful and relevant in the announcement of Christ. So, and
yeah,
in the Christian world, which I belong to. So, I feel it's important to invite her in.
yeah. I would call on Gabriel too. Yeah, I was going to actually just pull a quick archangel card to see if there's anybody else that we should call in for this. Ooh, okay, Michael.
Yeah.
You are safe.
Yes.
Okay.
Beautiful.
All
I'm
right.
gonna see who's gonna pop out of my saints and angels cards here.
Of course, St. Francis for the animals.
Absolutely, very powerful.
All right.
Great.
All right. So let's all take a nice, definitely please join us if you're watching.
Yeah, please do.
And let's all just take a collective, sort of nice, deep breath to comfort and to ground ourselves.
I'm feeling like we should have a virtual circle.
Yes, it feels like that too. That's a good idea.
So join us, please.
And with each breath, we get quieter, more relaxed, more centered in our hearts, in our bodies. Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, we call upon you to surround us here now and all those who are watching now and in rebroadcast. Michael, we ask for your protection for ourselves, for our families, for our children, for our schools. Protect our town. Protect the children of all the schools. Help us to see and protect the animals.
Protect those who protect us, all the firemen and women who are working so tirelessly out in California and in other parts of the world. the police, the people in government that work on our behalf. Keep them all safe and connected to their higher purpose, their higher selves, so that they can make the most informed choices for them and for us.
Gabriel, we ask for your strength to help us to stay heart-centered, but also strong to make the decisions that need to be made, to speak up, to speak our truth.
And in speaking our truth, to always allow our words and our thoughts to go through our hearts so that we truly are speaking from a place of love. To feel our heart's connection to God, to the angels, to our deceased loved ones who are around us in spirit, that we know that we're not alone, even if we feel lonely, that we know that we are loved. We're loved by the people who have moved on into spirit. We're loved by people here on earth who we may not see every day, but know that they're thinking of us. And as we speak this truth and let it wash through our heart, let us have that courage to reach out to someone. Perhaps there's someone who you haven't connected with in a long time. Have the courage and trust that they're waiting to hear from you and perhaps afraid to contact you. So our invitation is to have that faith and reach out, whether it's something as simple as a text message or a phone call, a letter. Just know that there's bridges to be built and connections to be rebuilt during this time.
Archangel Gabriel, we ask for your help too with nurturing ourself and our own inner child at this time. Help us with the words that we need to guide our children, to help them feel safe in a chaotic world, knowing that we at the same time also need those words of reassurance.
And knowing that as we heal our children and allow them to see us model connection, heart-centered connection, that we're really healing the entire planet. This next generation of ours is going to alter the way we live in a very positive and profound way. Allow them to feel safe enough to truly be themselves and not get caught up in the negativity that surrounds us and the fears. Allow them to just live through their hearts and feel the love, the joy, the peace, and who they truly are at their core and how important they are to the world.
Taking a nice deep breath. Allowing yourself to relax, to unwind, to trust that the divine intervention we're asking for is being taken care of behind the scenes. Seeing yourself surrounded by a group of angels who are beaming their light on you at this moment, helping to uplift your spirit, helping you to feel inspired and motivated, So many of you out there are so compassionate and empathetic, and that truly is a gift to the world. But the angels that we call in here now in this meditation are also here to support you. Allow yourself to receive help and support from others. You are as deserving of nurturing and support as those that you give it to.
And I think that that's such an important thing, especially during this time of year where there's family events and so many other responsibilities, to allow yourself time to open your heart, to meditate, to breathe, to go for a walk, to sit with your pet, to make a snow angel, to take a hot bath,
Yeah.
just to do something important for you and really allow you to nurture yourself. Because if you can't take care of yourself, you don't have the energy to care for other people. And by giving that gift to yourself, you're giving the gift of yourself to other people. And that's so beautiful.
And now we'll come back to call ourselves back to our room that we're in and our surroundings. And as we, come to an end to our show today, we hope you enjoyed our meditation. And I know Carolyn and I would love to wish you many blessings for this coming holiday season. And maybe we'll leave with a couple of messages that we can give to people.
Let's do that.
Let's see. I have this Mother Mary deck here.
Ooh. And
So we got from Mother, this is a deck of, based on Mother Mary and her strength and her messages. And this is about family. It says, I pray for my family and give this situation over to God for answers, support, and healing. And I do feel like that's going out to people who may be having some difficulties or dramas in their family right now.
Yeah. And this one is believe in yourself. See yourself doing well, and you will.
Yes, visualizing.
Visualizing, yes. And
That's
also
such powerful.
really putting yourself first. There's a lot of magic in this card with, it's the unicorns cards, and this is a magical season.
It is, you're right.
Not only with all the holidays that we have to celebrate, but just, going into the winter and being, having it be a little bit more serene and peaceful.
Yeah.
With the dark, we're entering in where, it's going to be the darkest night or the longest night. So there's really magic in that. And to be able to look inside your own heart and see that, and know that the days are going to be getting longer. We're turning into that. And there's even a rainbow here. So,
Awesome.
yes, it is.
All right. Well,
Right.
thank you so much again for hosting with me.
This is such a pleasure.
Yeah.
And happy holidays, happy new year to all of you.
And thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you again next month. Happy holidays.
Bye-bye.